40 days ahead of us before this election. As you can see, GOP, November the 2nd, 2018. I would like to recognize some of the elected officials that are here and some of the candidates. And we're going to move through this briefly so we can give as much time as we can to our House candidates and so to the President. This is a make-or-break year for North Carolina, Craven County, as far as that goes. Also, get control of this redistricting process so we can have a fair and equal representation in fundraising, at least in Craven County, is at record levels, and I'm sure it is all across the state. So it's ours to lose. So folks, don't let up. We're going to pour it on these last 40 days. We don't want to win, we want to stomp them.
Yeah!
Our goal in Craven County is we don't want anybody to file in the next 2 years from now under the Democrat ticket. They're going to have to take it. So with that, Tom, come up here and fire these people up. Let's do it.
Let's hear a round of applause for your county chairman. Yeah. And his long-suffering wife, Jeannie. Yay! Chuck, I was on a panel discussion. I was talking to Jimmy Dixon and his lovely wife, campaign manager Early, there from Mount Olive, and I was on a panel with a Democrat consultant from Mount Olive named Brad Crone last week, speaking to the Nationwide Insurance Political Action Committee. And he came to the panel wearing a U.S. Cavalry hat. And I said, "Why are you wearing that?" He said, "Are you familiar what fate befell the 7th Cavalry about 1880 something? Anybody know that story?" Yeah. Well, Custer's last stand. He said, "That's what's getting ready to happen to us." Folks, the Democrats see this coming too. And that is, by the way, you're seeing a level of desperation in some of their tactics right now. Anybody who thinks that crowd's going to give up a 112-year stranglehold on the General Assembly without a fight is wrong. And some of our candidates are on the receiving end of some of the flack that they're getting. My dad was a football coach, and Chuck used to get really irritated when people would refer to football as a contact sport. He said, "Son, dancing is a contact sport, football is a collision sport." And so is politics. It's a collision of ideas and ideologies and character. And just like in football, you don't win those collisions without blocking and tackling. And you folks are the blockers and tacklers of a political campaign. We don't win campaigns from Raleigh with fancy ads and slick mailings and all that stuff. We're going to do some of that. But political campaigns are won just like football games. They're won on the ground, taking ground a yard at a time. And what you folks decide to do or not do over the next 35 days is going to determine where Jimmy Dixon and Norman Sanderson and Mark and Gene go to Raleigh to form the first Republican majorities in both chambers of the General Assembly since the latter part of the 19th century. That's what's in front of us.
But, you know, as a recent military veteran, as a small business owner, you know, I like you, I'm vested in North Carolina's success. I love North Carolina. And when I was thinking about what to talk to you all about today, I actually was reading the paper, and I flipped through and I saw about a small business, a little, you know, mom and pop kind of business that had a few employees. And it was a trucking company. And I read on, and it was a pretty sad story about how this company has done everything it can to exist here in North Carolina and grow. And then at the end it basically said that, you know, I believe, this is a quote from it, "I believe trucking is coming back, but I'm pretty much burned out. I don't have the heart for it anymore. I don't want to be my own boss anymore. All of it is on my shoulders. It's just too much." You know, North Carolina, we can do better. And I know we can, because in the early mid-90s, Republicans were in control of our General Assembly in the House side. And during that time, we saw taxes cut, we saw a surplus, and we saw a successful charter school program, and we know how it was capped, and, you know, we hope to change that very soon. But we need that again, folks. You know, I hope that this family can go back and be successful entrepreneurs one day. But right now, North Carolina is at a situation where we're not competitive. And it takes being competitive. Right now, we are 39th in the nation in business tax climate, and that is totally unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. We're not even mediocre. We're less than that. That's sad. And as a business person, it is hard to tell someone, well, you should pay me more because I'm in a high tax state. It doesn't work like that, folks. It doesn't. So that's part of the reason I'm running. I believe that we can be back on a path of prosperity, and as simple as this: lessen our overreach. Matter of fact, let's go back to the core basics of what is mandated in our state constitution and not overreach at all.
What they plan to do.
Look at the global trend.
So I'd like, in about 3 or 4 minutes, tell you what we plan to do in about the first 100 days. There are other. This is not complete. We can walk and chew gum at the same time, but these are 10 things we're going to do. First of all, do you remember 1 year ago, I had all my charts here about the budget, about their pretend spending gap, their $4 billion spending gap. Well, in the middle of a recession, what did they do last year? They raised taxes big. We, next July 1st, will have a $3 billion hole. We are going to balance the budget without raising tax rates. They raised tax rates on 4 things: sales, income, corporate, and gas. We were already the highest in the region on all 4, and they raised all 4 of them. We are going to work to get those taxes competitive with our other states. One other thing, because that excessive taxation, as Jimmy says, kills jobs. That's not the sole reason for the recession. That's a worldwide phenomenon, but it's why our recession is worse than the other states. Another thing that's going to make it worse is this Obamacare, with its job-killing, liberty-killing, individual mandate requiring you for the first time in recorded history, where the federal government is going to tell you to buy something as a price of living and breathing. Yeah. And as citizens of the United States, we don't have to put up with that. So I think, Norman, get a bill ready. I think maybe on opening day we may have a bill to exempt North Carolinians from that individual mandate. To get back in, you ready for that? Now, I'm only promising it in the first 100 days, but I'm thinking it'd be good on the first day. I'm just thinking about that. Another thing that'd be good on the first week, maybe, is this to vote. Having to prove who you are. Show your driver's license. How obvious is that? But they have fought us on that every year. Party line votes. They say, oh no, you have to show prove who you are. You know, you might only get to vote twice or thrice. I'm thinking on opening day, the House has passed twice a constitutional amendment to protect you from abusive condemnations, taking your property to give to her so she can make more money or pay more taxes. Did you know that was possible? We passed it twice, and every time the Senate says, oh, we don't have time for this, and Gene went to the chairman of the Senate Ways and Means Committee, to which it went. And Gene said, when you going to bring up that bill? Charlie Danley said, next time we meet. And Gene said, when are you going to meet next? Well, they hadn't met since 2001. He said, I don't think we're going to meet. I'm thinking, Gene, if we pass that on opening day, that'll give the Senate something to do the next day. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Education. We're going to find education in the classroom and not the bureaucracy. What's up?